What is up, guys? I'm back. Today we are ranking 21 Pilots albums so far. I know there's only technically 4? I don't know. Anyways, we're starting off at the bottom. We're going to go up to number 1. So at the bottom, I mean, come on. Why wouldn't it be here? Scaled and Icy. What an exhaustingly terrible, boring, generic, dry album this thing is. I was pretty excited for it, honestly, and I had a good time listening to another 21 Pilots album when it came out, but that's all it really was a nice time listening to another 21 Pilots album. It's just like so not great is honestly the easiest way to put it. Their live experience they did with it was kind of cool, I feel like, when it was released, because like COVID and stuff, they couldn't really tour, which is fine, but I heard the tour was also really just a letdown. So I saw them on their first Trench tour, and that was insanely good, back in 2018, but yeah. To say the least, not a fan of this record. Anyways, moving on. I don't know if Regional Best is considered a record, because it's pretty much just a less well-made, I wouldn't even say Vessel is really per se well-made, but less well-produced and less thought-out Vessel, but Regional Best is right over Scaled and Icy here. Honestly, the renditions of songs that ended up on Vessel on here are terrible compared to the actual final product. I think songs like Ruby and Anathema were actually pretty good, though, when I listened to them at the beginning, but coming back in with fresh ears listening to this was brutal, honestly. Like, I was like, this is really not good. Like, you could tell they were still in their early stages. Tyler was still in his early stages of, like, making music, because, like, this thing is all over the place. It really is, sonically and just musically. It is a confusing album. Honestly, I mean, Glowing Eyes is kind of cool. Not too bad. Overall, though, not great. Don't find myself wanting to ever come back to this, honestly, after listening to it again. For a long time, I thought it was one of their best, but no. And now we have their self-titled album, which actually, honestly, is a little okay. Surprisingly solid compared to what I was, I guess, expecting on another re-listen. It's not super disappointing, but it's also not super great at the same time. I don't know. Just like the last one, Regional at Best, it is kind of a early stage album. I mean, it is technically their first album. Josh wasn't even on this, as far as I'm aware, the drummer. He didn't come until Vessel, I believe, but I wouldn't say it's bad. I think that Fall Away is really good. Addict with the Pen, I remember being really good. March to the Sea is also another one that I like a lot. Almost Believer, Air Catcher, Trapdoor, that's what it was. A Car, A Torch of Death is also another one. Honestly, like, all of those are pretty good. Island of Flightless Birds is another one that's on there that's good. Like, a lot of them are still kind of solid, honestly, for a first record. I don't know what happened with Regional Best. I don't know what happened with Scaled and Icy especially. But honestly, self-titled, honestly, on re-listen, I mean, it's empty and it's missing things, definitely, but it's not unlistenable by any means. Okay, now we got the big three coming up here. So now I'm going to hit you with this. Vessel was like my favorite for a long time, but coming back in, it's definitely quite a okay at best, pretty good, listenable. I wouldn't even say okay at best, actually. No, it's pretty good. It's not even pretty good. It's just good. I'll go with that. It's just good. Screen is a song that is not my favorite. The Run and Go is, I wish they would have never put that on that album. It's not good at all. But honestly, every other track honestly holds up. Again, I feel like production-wise there is something kind of lacking. There is something kind of empty about it, this whole record. There's just something missing. But coming back into it after being... It's been so long since I've listened to this, guys. Like, a long time. It felt nice. It felt fresh in some aspects. As a whole, though, I couldn't put it up in, like, the top here. But it's listenable. And I will keep my record, my vinyl record. It's not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I own this. This is terrible. It's still listenable. It's still listenable. And it's still a good album, I would say. Still a solid listen. Now we're coming up on what, you know, most people consider their favorite and their biggest album ever. We got the Blurry Face record. You know, to start off, I would say there is filler songs on this that I don't love. Particularly The Judge is kind of not great. Honestly, though, I can't think of any other songs that I didn't find catchy. Hometown is a kind of underrated one I like a lot. Fairly Local, though the lyrics are kind of cringy, I do like the production style of that song. I love the opening track, Heavy Dirty Soul, is so awesome. Lane Boy's awesome. Coming back to this record especially is a blast. I had a great time coming back to this thing. The first half of this record is honestly flawless, but don't trust the song, it's flawless, haha, funny. But the later half of it, I would say is it's a little overly long, is what I would say, and some of the songs and production choices are a little just not my thing. But honestly, the first half of this record is perfect. I would stand by that. But yeah, honestly, really good record. Coming back to it, I really enjoyed it. It holds up on another listen after a couple of years of not even listening to their music. Good time. Definitely, I wouldn't say it's like, should be their most popular album. I don't think that deserves that much praise and it deserved that much attention if you ask me, but I digress. We are now at the top, and obviously, I mean, I got Trench right back there. I kind of spoiled it a little bit. I was trying to cover it up the best I could, but we got Trench at the top. This thing, perfect all around. Freaking love Pet Cheetah, Cut My Lip. Oh my gosh, those two songs are great. Nico and the Niners, Levitate, Jumpsuit, Leave the City, Chlorine. I can remember all the names of the songs. What's the other one? Oh yeah, that one. Neon Gravestones is really depressing and it has a lot to say, and every time I listen to it, I'm glad that the song was on this album because it actually feels deeply personal and actually really well thought out compared to a lot of the lyrics from 21 Pilots' past music. This album actually has a vision, it actually has a story, and it all connects really well and makes sense to me. I love it. The music videos are like mostly all connected too. There's like little things connecting each other. My Blood is another great song. Bandito, oh my gosh, the end of that song, it builds and builds. Holy smokes. Smithereens. Dude, it's great. It's great. It's a great freaking album. I had such an awesome freaking time at their concert when it came out too. It was so fun. I wish I had footage of it, still I don't. I had a crappy old cell phone. I mean, I still have a crappy old cell phone. I don't really like technology, honestly. I don't even know why I'm saying that. But yeah, no, honestly, that record is so good. So good. So it deserves to be at the top, if you ask me. Honestly, I mean, definitely is a popular album, but it didn't do as well as Blurry Face did at all, and that's such a disappointment because it's so good and it's so well made. I certainly hope that this thing will continue to be like mentioned. I feel like I've seen it mentioned a lot more in like kind of decade-defining lists and like music of our generation, like right now, kind of defining. It's definitely been on there a lot, and I'm glad. You know, I think that belongs to be up there along with like Igor and other records that are modern, but they are a placeholder of sorts in our current landscape of music. This one definitely deserves to be in there if you ask me. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Go check out 21 Pilots if you haven't listened to their music. How the heck have you not heard of them? How the heck have you not heard their music? I'm sure you have heard their music. But in case you haven't somehow, Go check them out. It's pretty good. I think I'm going to be doing some stuff revolving around their music this month. I think that'll be kind of fun, so look out for that. And regardless, just subscribe. Come on, like, geez, let's get to 1,000 already. Gosh, been waiting so long. Guys, it's been so long. You have no idea. So many years.